sense.
Hey, what is going on? Welcome to VRML 1. That's right, you're on the main channel once again here with me, IdentityCrisisVR. You can call me ID. I'm backed up by my co-caster, new guy. You might know him from Community Cast, but here as an official VRML co-caster and he's going to be working his way up to main casting here shortly. Park, my dude, what is going on?
Not much, UID. Super excited to be here tonight.
Oh, guy, this is going to be one hell of a match. Season 13, Week 13, all the 13s, lucky for some, hopefully lucky for these two teams. We're going to be going in head-to-head, Animal House versus Pantheon. Two really mammoth teams fighting for those top spots. We got a ranked 4th in the world. Master Team, Animal House, Pantheon, Master Team, ranked 6 in the world. Tell me a little bit about these two teams, Park.
So Pantheon, I know quite a bit about them since I used to be a member of them. They're a very aggressive team, just like a typical NA team, which is interesting because Animal House is also very aggressive, but they have two completely different planning strategies, where what Pantheon does with their planning is they have pre-plans, it's already made. Maybe they'll go in a match and switch up a few spots, but they'll usually stick to what they do. What Animal House does, at least on Marsoc, from what I've heard throughout the seasons, is they just plan on the spot. They make up the plans. They don't have any preset things in mind, which could give them an advantage being able to adapt during the matchup.
This is going to be an interesting match. Like I said, I've seen both these teams play over a number of seasons. Animal House has been around since the beginning, pretty much, and Pantheon's got a number of seasons under their belts. Looking at the stats, Park, what kind of bans do you think we're going to see from these two teams tonight?
Based on the stats, I think Snow Peak might be a ban from Animal House just because that is one of Pantheon's special maps, and it is one of their most played and, most importantly, most win, because out of all the maps they've played 7 times, which is Quarantine, Downfall, Cargo, and Snow Peak, Pantheon has the most wins on that map out of the other maps. And then when it comes to Pantheon, I think they could maybe ban a short-range map against these guys, maybe Suburbia, because Animal House is very notorious for doing good on that map. Maybe Bazaar too. Those are like their two kind of strength maps. Or maybe Pantheon will decide to ban one of their weaknesses, which maybe could be Tanker if they haven't played that as much this season, which Animal House seems to have played just a tiny bit. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the bans, and I do expect a pretty short-range battle tonight.
Yeah, so looking at the top-tier maps that Animal House have played over their very long career in Onward here on the VRML, it looks like Bazaar is their most played map. 88 times they've played that with a 64% win ratio on Bazaar. So I would say Bazaar is their most played map, but with Tanker coming in at their top-tier win at 71% down on Tanker. We don't see Tanker a lot in the VRML. I think I've only seen it a handful of times over the last couple of seasons. But I would be surprised if we go to Tanker, but hey, who knows? They might surprise us. And then the top map for Pantheon being Snow Peak. Looks like they've played that 29 times, one lane team with a 66 win ratio down on Snow Peak. However, it looks like Abandoned is their top-tier win for 73%, 8 of 11 played down on Abandoned. So it looks like, looking at those, in my opinion, Pantheon like their longer-range maps, but they're kind of an all-round team. They do really well in almost everything. And with all the stats that we have on Animal House, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Why don't we take a look, Park? What do you think?
Yeah, let's take a look for sure on what they're going to do.
Animal House are banning Downfall. Interesting ban. What do you think? What do you think the strats are behind that?
Interesting ban. I didn't quite expect that, but from what I'm aware of, they might be planning around one of their players, Absent-Minded Prof, who is Pantheon's top sniper, and usually Pantheon likes to plan around that. And even though Snow Peak does have a better win ratio for Pantheon this season, they have played Downfall just as much. So they might like Downfall just as much, and it could especially be one of Animal House's weaknesses. If we look at their stats here, they've played Snow Peak quite a bit, 4 times, but they've only won once. If we look at Downfall, they've only played it once. So I think Animal House was looking at the top pick maps for Pantheon. Not really looking at the win ratio, but looking at which map that they're personally the weakest of out of their top tier maps for Pantheon. So I think that's why they made that decision.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. You know, the Downfall 24 played, 13 wins, 54% win ratio. They've played it 24 times. You know, they know the map. And let's just take a quick look on Animal House on Downfall to see whether you see Animal House's reps on Downfall's not the greatest. 24 played, only 8-1. So it may be a weakness ban right there. But who knows? Let's take a look at Pantheon and see what they were banning. Let's take a quick look here. And it looks like Pantheon's banning Subway, my favorite map, off the books. I'm so upset. Give me some insight here. What do you think, Park?
That ban actually shocks me, as Animal House has only played it 3 times this season, keep in mind. But they have won it twice, so that's a pretty good win ratio. But back when I was on the Pantheon roster last season, Subway was one of Pantheon's top maps. So I don't know if some of the roster changes has changed that for them, but at least back in the day, they did really like Subway. But this season, Pantheon might have not been as successful on Subway, as they played it 4 times and only won once. So the ban does make somewhat amount of sense, but I think Suburbia could have been a better ban, unless they're banking on the fact that they can put up some pretty good competition on Suburbia.
You never know. We might be going down to some close quarters tonight with 2 longer range maps kind of off the books here. Could be interesting.
It'll be very interesting for sure. And I think both teams do specialize in long maps to a certain extent with Lipinski, who is also Animal House's sniper. I've seen countless, even though Downfall, they haven't picked it much. When I have seen Animal House play Downfall, they do dominate certain teams on that map with Lipinski kind of planning around him, and he really has map control on that map where teams can't really counter him too easily. So even though Animal House does specialize in a lot of short maps, they are really good long range map players, and obviously Pantheon also specializes on Abandoned and Snow Peak. So I think it's very interesting that both these teams do have some strengths at long range, but we're probably not seeing much long range today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to coming down here. In just a few minutes, we should probably be able to get into the lobby with these guys. Let's take a look at the rosters of players that are available to us. I'm going to run through Animal House here with you guys real quick first. So Animal House coming through with a full roster, captained by a man, F. Lipinski, backed up by their co-captain Green Theft Auto, Nolomite staking in there, Quoka Floka, Wicked Hex, Mobstar, Silent Knight, and Willow the Wisp is their full roster. Now, you can only have 5 members on the field at the time, but they do have a full roster there to pick from, so we might see some trades in and out if there's somebody that's that they've got as a master at something, whether that be sniping long range, or maybe they've got an amazing C4 player. We don't know. Go through some of the guys that we've got potentially for the Pantheon team over there, Park.
So we got Freck as their captain and longtime member since Season 11. We got Absent Minded Prof, recruited in the off-season of Season 11. He is the current co-captain, but I do know Pantheon likes to cycle through co-captains pretty often. Then we got Dual Shock, recruit from Season 12, and that was his first Onward team he joined, so he had to step up in the big league straight away, and so far, he's been doing pretty good on that role. He is that role where it's more short range. He uses SMGs from what I'm aware of, or assault rifles, depending on the map. We got Apollo Graham. He was the founder of Pantheon, the old captain, and has been around ever since, playing pretty well. We got Jeremiah, new recruit, I think at the end of Season 12 or the start of Season 13. Should be interesting if we see any action from him tonight. We got Jester, longtime Pantheon member who had to retire for a little bit but came back. We got a second Jester, MFN Jester, the new recruit. So we got 2 Jesters on the team, so that might be a little bit confusing. Then we got Waltzy, also a pretty longtime Pantheon member, but also had to quit for a little bit and came back. So we got a pretty good mix on Pantheon of new members on their team, but also old members that have recently came back to play with them this season.
This is going to be one hell of a matchup. I'm really excited for this. Just checking to see if there's any lobbies up for us yet. How's everybody doing in chat? Everybody's having a great Thursday night. We're almost at the weekend, my friends, so you can start the party early tonight with all VRML Onward action. Live and direct for myself and Park. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything up quite yet.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I did see Pantheon did quit their warm-up lobby, and the lobby is up. First map will be Bazaar, one of the maps we were talking about for Animal House. So that should be very interesting to see one of their top maps be played. Very good pick from Animal House.
Yeah, this is not one that I was expecting. So this is, I love Bazaar. It's got a little bit of everything in there. It's got some longer range in the north, mid, and south roads, and then a lot of QCB stuff inside all those buildings. So I'm kind of excited to get into this one.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and it will be a nice medium range map. Maybe we won't see as much short range as we expected tonight. It should be interesting to see what happens during this matchup. But this is a map that you would also expect maybe Pantheon would ban, as even though they are pretty solid at Bazaar, they don't have as much of a record on it as Animal House has. So it should be interesting to see if that mismatch does affect them, or if they're able to overcome the odds.
Yeah, it looks like we've got East Mini Courtyard as our first objective down here. I'm going to set up a quick camera over there while we're chit-chatting here and waiting for the guys to load into the lobby. Always like to set a emergency camera over the OBJ just in case we're on the wrong side of the field and somebody's doing that sneak cap on us. So we've got all that set up. Bizarre, beautiful map. A lot of close range stuff, but it is a very mid-range map, like I said, with just those longer ranges down the south, mid, and north streets. But you're going to see a lot more close range stuff going on here. A lot of utility use by both teams, I'm expecting, especially on this objective. It is going to be an interesting push, that's for sure. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on for our teams right now. It looks like we've got 4 in already for Animal House and 4 in for Pantheon. We're just waiting for 1 each, and then we'll go through what team members we've got in the game for us.
Based on the warm-up lobby, I'm expecting Dual Shock to be the 5th member for Pantheon, as he was warming up with them and has been a long-time starter for the team. So that'll be interesting to see what happens for Animal House. I don't know who to expect for that 5th member.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Everybody on the rosters, on both teams, everybody's got a lot of experience under their belt. So whoever comes in, we're going to be expecting some great plays from these guys tonight. I'm excited for it. And let's just check one more. Still waiting for that last. So far on Animal House, we have, of course, Lipinski in there. We've got Quoka Floka, Wicked Hex, and Nullamite over on Animal House right now, with Jester, Freak, Jeremiah, and Absent-Minded Prof leading the charge over on Pantheon. So, like I said, we're just waiting for that 5th member from both teams to slide into the lobby. What kind of stratch do you think we're going to be looking at for this first objective here, Park?
On Animal House, I am expecting maybe a smoke attack where they, especially if they get that west quicker spawn, not quick spawn, but it is a little bit quicker than the rest of the spawns. I think we'll see a lot of smokes going to OBJ, and I think the plan behind that might not be for a cap, but it might be to get Pantheon defenders to kind of push out of that smoke, try to look for someone capping, which could create pretty easy picks for Animal House. I do feel like their strength tonight could be picking off people. Green Theft Auto has joined for Animal House, so they do have a full 5-man roster at the moment.
So we're just waiting for one more left, and for Pantheon, and then they'll probably do some stratting up real quick in the tent there, and then we can get this party started. Yeah, I expect, depending on the spawn, but if they get that west spawn where you can get that early pre-fire straight down and cut this map in half, I expect a quick push to the objective. But it's all going to come down to where that spawn comes in. I think there's 3 for this one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3. I'm not quite sure though.
Back here by the red truck on the far west, there is a spawn right here, which is what is considered quick spawn for this, where you can kind of, I don't know if you guys can see from this camera here, kind of see they crash through here and get some pre-fire and down through some of these alleys down here and these windows, try and cut some stuff off early. And then they crash through Kayak Market, which is basically center of the map, and then you're virtually on the backside of the objective. So it's going to be an interesting one, depending on where that first objective lands. And we do have the 5th in duel, 5th member in for Pantheon. So expect a start up here pretty soon, my guys. And we're going to see what kind of action two formidable teams are going to bring to the table.
So it looks like for Pantheon's side, we do got the new Jester in, so don't confuse him with the OG Jester that is on the team. There is a difference between the players. I think the old Jester, from what I saw on Twitch, is in the chat, so hi, OG Jester.
The OG Jester.
And everybody else who's tuning in.
I love it when teams have 2 members with very similar names. It makes it very hard for casting.
Yeah, it does. But we're just lucky that both of the Jesters aren't in here tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. I've come across that a number of times with some teams that have got 2 players with very, very similar names. You end up
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them.
you end up calling it almost like thing 1 and thing 2, you know. Okay, I'm expecting this to kick off really soon. Let's see where we are on the actual casting screens here to see if I can get anything rocking and rolling for you.
I do expect a pretty passive defense from Pantheon just to start the match here. But I feel like as the match goes on, they will start sending some more aggressive flankers like Freck or DualShock to try to throw off Animal House. But to start, they'll probably start with a pretty meta conservative defense on this OBJ.
Yeah, they the thing with a lot of this is they the first couple of rounds is kind of prodding, poking. But let's jump in round 1. Who's excited? Let's go.
Looks like they got that west spawn we were talking about. We could see a pretty quick push here.
Could be aggressive right off the bat. Let's jump right over to our Animal House, guys, and see what's going on. Everybody's checking tablets.
A lot of them pushing right through Bazaar. Could get that pre-fire off pretty early. 4 of them in the same building in the West Bazaar.
Yeah, there's a hard push coming north backside of Bazaar right now. Freak's probably gonna get the first encounter. Freak takes down Wicked. Nolomite takes Freak down on an instant refrag. Utility's been thrown through already from Quoker. Quoker's in the backside of the building. He's on objective right now. Quoker could be capping any second here. Quoker takes Jester down. Quoker is capping. What did I say about Quicken? No! Absent-minded Prof takes him down. Almost a cap there, guys. Absent-minded crashes back to the objective. Green Theft Auto pushes back into the building. Oh, Absent gets Green Theft through the window and goes down on a team kill by Jeremiah. No.
From the blue room, very hard angle to watch, as it is easy to see a lot of shadows and to kind of look at everybody as like the same color. But now Jeremiah will have to take Absent's old spot. The push has halted 2v2.
Wow, so much action so fast there, and we're literally a minute and, God, 10 seconds into the round. And all of a sudden everything gets quiet. Nolomite in the north here, trying to push the north side, trying to get some identification from the broken wall in the north here onto the back of that market building. I'm expecting Pantheon probably just to tuck in tight now. They've got good coverage of the objective with Jewel and Jeremiah crossing streams there from corner to corner, so they've got that kind of sliced in half. It's going to be tough for Nolomite, and I believe Lipinski is the other man left on the team here for Animal House to cut this team down. They're going to have to try and push in here probably with utility, and I'm not too sure what we've got left on these guys. Let me just check Nolomite's vest here, so I can get any kind of angles on his vest. I'm seeing a smoke on Nolomite over here. I'm not too sure if Lipinski's carrying any utility, but it looks
on Lipinski, I do see a flash right on him. I don't know if he has anything else, but that could mean he could quickly flash someone like Jeremiah and try to go for that cap. That is a possibility for this team. If they do push on OBJ at the same time, I think that is their best bet if they're able to coordinate with each other.
It looks like Lipinski is in the marketplace by the fountain right now, trying to make his way over, just checking these windows just to see if there's anybody peeking. It all depends on if they have a accurate kill count, because there was a lot of trades there, and with that team kill, I'm not sure if Lipinski and Nolomite are going to have a good team kill count here.
Yeah, they definitely won't with that TK. There was no way they could have saw that, but Nolomite is looking right at Jeremiah, but doesn't see him, but his laser keeps kind of going right on him. Gets a kill onto Jeremiah, eventually finds him. Duel is the last to stay, but Jeremiah could get revived, but if Duel does push for that revive, he will get killed, most likely from Nolomite. Lipinski pushes a little bit closer to OBJ now.
Oh, and Lipinski takes Duel down, winning that first round. That was a crazy first round. Still 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. First point on the board for our boys on Animal House, with our lads down on Pantheon. Dropping like flies there, unfortunately. That quick spawn can be crazy right off the bat. What's your thoughts on that round there, Park?
it could have easily gone to Pantheon if that critical TK did not come in from Absent, as Absent was going off, getting 2 kills. He shocked all the attackers, but once that TK was kind of went off, Duel and Jeremiah had to be very careful on OBJ, holding very passive angles, making it very easy for someone like Nolamite to pick them off from far, and Lipinski to rush right in and catch the last unexpected defender up. If there was not a TK there, I really think that would have went to Pantheon, but that was an unfortunate error from Jeremiah there.
Yeah, that that team kill pretty changed everything. It really did.
Yeah, that.
Sorry, go ahead, Park.
Yeah, that was a critical TK, and Animal House was very good and was able to capitalize off of that. Honestly, them having an inaccurate kill count and thinking there's 3 of them left probably paid off for Animal House, because they were able to take it slow, able to look at those careful angles and pick off Pantheon. So if anything, them having an inaccurate kill count could have unintentionally kind of came to their advantage there.
Looks like we're going into the next round here, so let's get down to the action. Round 2. Try and get this prediction up and running for you guys real quick.
We got the West spawn again. Let's see how Pantheon takes this approach.
Let's jump over to the Pantheon guys over here and see if they are just as quick. Now they're splitting up more. Freak going north, and Jester pushing south. It looks like Absent Minded trying to get some pre-fire through the marketplace.
That was a very quick pre-fire there. Usually that pre-fire goes for a little bit longer, isn't able to really affect them. Duel gets a kill on the Green Theft Auto. Nolamite calls someone out in the north. He will have to deal with Freck. Quokka gets a kill on the Duel from a far angle out in the south. Freck getting very close to OBJ, M203 and the OBJ, but it doesn't look like he'll rush right in. Might be waiting for one of the defenders to kind of push him with that smoke out. As Wicked does kind of push out there, and Lipinski too. Nade almost hitting Wicked if it was a little bit more to the right. Freck does get the kill on the Wicked though.
Lots of utility being thrown around the objective area, trying to clear it out. This smoke's really worrying them here a little bit. Freck on the corner of the OBJ building, not seeing Lipinski in the smoke. Freck tablet out in the smoke right now. If this smoke clears, he's going to be nowhere. What a cap! Holy mother of God, that was fast! Nice job! What ended up happening was Animal House assumed it was there just to distract them, wasn't really conscientious of that cap near the end of the round. Wow. I'm not too sure if we got that clipped. I tried to clip it as we were playing a replay on a replay, so we'll take a look at that in the highlights when we get back. But oh my word, what a super fast cap there by Freak. That has got to have been like a 2-second cap. Easily 2 or 3 seconds. Wow, impressive. That just goes to show you how quick these guys can be with their fingers on these tablets. Me, on the other hand, that would have been a 2-minute cap. Not a cap. It would have been a 5-minute cap for me, especially through the smoke. Yeah, exactly. It's even harder. So the way it works capping in the smoke is you basically have to get down really low and get the tablet low, almost like to 2-3 inches off the ground where you can actually see the tablet. And so it makes it even harder to cap in smoke, and these guys obviously have practiced the absolute snot out of it. Yeah, I know all the Pantheon guys are pretty quick cappers, as they've all been training. I don't know if there's anybody on the team that's a slow capper, or at least most of them are consistent cappers on the team. Let's get down round 3. Nice job, Pantheon. Get them back into the game. Here we are in the south courtyard objective. This one is another one. If you're a quick capper and you can get that smoke in here, this is a capital objective, guys. Another quick spawn too in the west. There might be a pre-fire coming out from both squads here, as Pantheon will pre-fire. Looks like a lot of them are taking more of a north approach on the OJ though. Quokka pushing right up through the quick little lane there. Quokka does get tagged on the pre-fire,
but he will still be able to keep running. This is a very unique push from Animal House. I've never seen any team do this before with so many people on the north side of the OBJ as Freck gets a kill on the Quokka, who was very close to OBJ there.
Yeah, that was a hard push into the objective, and Freck got a nice angle from that rooftop balcony down into that room, which is going to be key right now. If they don't clear out Freck, Freck's got a nice angle on just about every. Nice toss from the C4, God, I forgot what it was called then. C4 from Freck didn't make contact with anybody, but a flash goes out. That definitely caught Green Theft Auto. Wick come around to double check, make sure everything's okay. Trying to crash in onto the balcony where Freck just jumped off on, doesn't get the ankle. Smoke out on the OBJ from Wicked Hex, and looks like Green Theft Auto coming around to the east to try and push in. Wicked Hex taking the balcony that Freck was just on, taken out by Jester. All the crazy stuff going on. Jester was taking on Green Theft Auto on the east side. Nolomite being last man in the objective area. Nolomite pulls back. Absent goes out looking for him and takes out Nolomite, leaving Lipinski last man standing. All the gunfire being shot into the smoke just in case. Lipinski being last man standing.
From Pantheon.
What a match here going on, guys. Pantheon showing they know what it takes to be a leader on the board right now with 5 men up, just like Park said, with only Lipinski left. Let's follow along with Lipinski.
Absent is pushing out more towards Lipinski there. Almost got an angle on him, but Lipinski will still slowly approach this OBJ. He has a tough task ahead of him, has to pick off all 5 defenders on OBJ. I don't think he'll have enough utility, even if he has a smoke, to really get a successful cap attempt with 5 members up.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for him to get in there. He's at a great spot to be hearing all of these call-outs and all of these comms coming in from the Pantheon team. However, 5 of them. It's an uphill struggle. Can I say it's been done before? Yes, it has. But all the stars have to align for Lipinski right now for this to even be possible. But he's listening to all this going on from Red Truck right now. So he's probably got a little bit of an idea where some of these guys are just from the comms coming out. But he is holding. I think he's holding, hoping that one of these guys is just going to push him. We've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for Lipinski to kind of like pick a move. And that's the only way he's going to be able to push this. Let's try and get a pick and then rotate to another angle.
I think Pantheon is trying to be a little antagonizing right now. Just kind of saying a lot of stuff and kind of giving away their position, moving around, footstepping, maybe trying to make Lipinski think that they're going to move out onto him. But it seems like even though they're moving a lot, they are still all generally staying in the same angle. But Lipinski does only have 1 utility on him. From what I saw, he does have a smoke. So it should be interesting if he utilizes that, as he does push into Blue Room, taking a little bit of a different approach here.
Yeah, he's taking it slow. Like I say, he does have some time on his hands, but he does have 3 members to contest. And, gosh, it's an uphill battle. I'm not too sure what he's going to do here, to be honest with you. He still needs to get into that objective courtyard. Or Freak just peeked that corner, and I think Lipinski may have seen his shoulder like peek that corner, but I'm not too sure. Maybe Freak got info as well when he quick peeked that corner.
Interesting spot from scaffolding there. If Absent does run into his line of fire there, that could be a little pick for Lipinski there. And as you said, Lipinski might have saw Freck in that corner. If so, he's also watching that staircase. Lipinski decides to go down scaffolding, will not continue watching at angles. He probably knows that his time is running out. Pantheon has been playing it smart. Despite moving around a lot, checking a lot of angles, they haven't really moved off of their spots. So Lipinski was not able to get an easy kill. Maybe he expected Pantheon to be ultra aggressive with 1 up, but that's usually not how Pantheon runs things when they have an accurate kill count.
Yeah, Lipinski pushing all the way to the south now. And he might come in contact with Jewel here very soon, who's pulled up in the north side here. See kind of what happens here if Jewel is going to spot him out. Is Jewel inside one of those little shacks, I think, over there?
He is not. He is on the wall right beside one of the shacks. And he is moving a little bit.
There's timing for you. Lipinski does crash into one of the shacks. Does get a line onto Jewel. Nice job. That's 1, and that's the only one. Absent-minded Prof gets an instant refrag, putting another point on the board. That's 3. right now to our guys over on Animal House.
Very impressive refrag there. That was very quick, which is what they needed. And luckily, Duel was down, so the instant callouts from Duel could have also helped. But I think most of that was reaction time. Animal House is very, very good at Bazaar, so it is impressive to see Pantheon putting up this big of a fight. But I think if that cap did not happen, this would be a lot of a closer map. And knowing how much experience Animal House does have on Bazaar, they could easily bring this back, especially with it being a Vault round to start the next round here.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but both rounds, both Martok start-offs from Animal House, they've tried to be very aggressive right off of the get-go. They've come in hard on both these last two objectives. Do you think we might see something a little different on the next objective, if we even make it to the next objective? Because this really could be match point right here for this map.
I definitely think if Animal House wins this map, they'll have, or not map, but this round, they'll have one of two options. One of the options will be to end it right there, as Pantheon is putting up a pretty good fight, when it will be 2-3 if Animal House does win this Volk round. They will either go for a very aggressive smoke cap, especially depending on the OBJ. There's very notorious OBJs on Bazaar for those caps to come out. Or they will choose to play it a lot slower than they have, focus on getting picks like Lipinski tried to do with a 1v5 there, as that one Marsa when Animal House did have when it was a 2v2. Them being able to get those picks was what made them win the round.
Let's get down there for round number 4. And looks like we're going to have Animal House doing the pre-fire perhaps down that same lane that everybody else seems to like to try pre-fire that cuts the map in half. Does have the same spawn over there for Pantheon. I wonder if we're going to get the pre-fire just like Pantheon did right out the gate. Oh, no, but the pre-fire coming from Pantheon down that same line, trying to see if they can actually catch anybody. Does not catch anybody, luckily for Animal House. Oh, absent-minded Prof does take out Green Theft, though, on a nice little line right there. Like Lipinski staying in the corner inside the OBJ.
We'll be pushing up to blue room.
Yeah, here comes Frack right now. Frack's on the backside of the OBJ building right now, and Lipinski's hearing all this. You can hear all this stuff from the other side there. And who's that up there? All pushed out. Nolomite's in a great spot. Nolomite was in a great spot. Jester just killed an absent-minded takedown. Nolomite on the finish-off kill. Quoker taking down Jester. All of a sudden, we're at 2-on-4 in favour. There's Freak with the M203 smoke. Freak goes down by Quoker. And we're at 2-on-2. With Quoker killing Freak, and that would have been another cap if Freak had got in there quick enough. And unfortunately for Quoker...
Oh, gets a third on Jeremiah. Quoke had a very good line on the Freck there and did not back off instantly, gain a line on the Prof, which is the critical difference to a round win on Pantheon and a map win to what might be a round loss, but it is a 1v2. Duel could try to pull this off, especially if he does play this carefully like Lipinski. Since there's only 2 of them, I do think it's possible.
Let's follow along with Jewel here and see if we can see what he's looking at here. He's hearing all these call-outs right now from inside the building on the backside of the objective, checking his tablet. They're obviously hearing him do that too. So they know that he's in the building. He's going to crash out of that building by the looks of things. And, ooh, just crosses that open area. And I think somebody spotted him. Let's take shots down there just in case.
Yeah, I think he definitely was spotted out, but Duel was barely able to make it, and Lipinski is pushing up into the building that Duel was just in. Very interesting move, right outside of it, that doorway, because Lipinski definitely heard his footsteps earlier. Flash goes in from Quokka, looking for Duel. It is a game of chess between these two right now, hearing each other's footsteps. Quokka talking to Duel, but Duel not responding. Trying to figure out where each other are and when to push each other.
Yeah, these guys are trying to like bait each other out, even with the footsteps. You know, Jewel keeps going in and out of the building, knowing that Quokka is hearing those footsteps, trying to bait Quokka into the building. And Quokka's doing what Quokka needs to do as a Vault player, and that's just stay by the objective. You don't need to be rushing this guy. You just need to hold it down. The time is the Marsok enemy as well as everything else. All the Animal House have to do is hold this down and keep themselves in the game. It looks like Jewel is looking for some utility down here. And there is a nade there that it doesn't look like he's going to pick it up. That's surprising.
Maybe Duel was looking just for like a smoke to cause a distraction. I'm not quite sure if he was looking for utility, why he wouldn't pick it up, but he must have had something very specific in mind.
Yeah, that's unusual. Normally, if I'm by utility and I got a spare slot to put it in, I'm picking it up. Because you just never know when you may need it. And you know, with the new point system, utility is sparse these days.
Yeah, the new point system that the Onward devs did put in makes it very hard to carry two utilities, especially if you decide to run body armor, which most Onward players do run body armor, especially in the class that Duel is using. So utilities can be very valuable assets, especially if you are very accurate with them and have practice, as Duel is trying to decide his approach right now, going in between these two buildings. He hasn't really made any decision as of late.
I think he's trying to bait these guys out, and these guys are just holding spots, and that's what they need to do. That's all they need to do for the next minute and 40 seconds, is just continue to hold these angles. Jewel is making a lot of noise, dashing back and forth, and I think he's doing that on purpose to try and bait Quokka and Lipinski out. And they're not falling for it. They're checking angles every once in a while, but they're not falling for the bait to come out of this courtyard area. And here comes the push right here from Jewel, potentially through this east side to the courtyard. Nope, changes his mind yet again. He's prodded almost every area apart from the south.
Yeah, he's kind of narrowly went in every area, but hasn't really looked for any angles within. Quokka is kind of moving their position, as Quokka definitely heard footsteps on Duel. That building is very good to counter a push from that area, but Quokka does step out when they could have caught out Duel there.
Oh, and they trade, but they do trade in favor of Animal House, because we still have Lipinski still alive on the map. So we're still in the game here, guys, still in the game. That was a heck of a trade as well. Did you hear that? It was like one bullet from each of them. Boom, headshots, both of them.
Yeah, it was crazy. it was one shot for both of them, which means they both got each other's heads.
Yep.
Very accurate shots. If one of them were not accurate, that easily could have not been a trade, and it could have really changed how that round potentially went if Quokka missed their bullets on the Duel, but luckily both of them used their bullets as effectively as possible. Now, with the new OBJ, this is interesting because there are about 3 or 4 cap spots on this OBJ. So it'll be interesting if Animal House decides to go for a cap on Pantheon to end out Bazaar, or if they will try to very passively pick off Pantheon, get that round win, and then get the bulk advantage going into 3-3.
That's right, we're over on the west mini-market objective. This one is a pig to defend if there's only one man standing. You really, even with 2 men standing, it can be tough. Just to show what Park, the man there, was talking about, the objective spots on this one, the cap places is obviously on the objective here. You can cap on the other side of this wall here and inside this building over here. Oh God, bouncing around over here. But we're going to get down to the next round and find out what they're going to do. Round 5. And where did our Animal House? Yep, southeast. It looks like they got a kitty corner spawn from this.
This is the farthest spawn we have seen from any Marsok teams tonight, as we've seen Pantheon and Animal House mirror spawns all night in the most aggressive spawns possible. So this might allow some breathing room for Animal House to get a plan going, as Freck does push into the Kiot building.
We got a big push out from Pantheon with Freck in that building right now, and we've got Jewel pushed out. We've got a lot of push outs here from the OBJ, and I only see one sitting in the OBJ area, which is Jester right now. Green Theft trying to make a push through the south side. Pushing through this
Him and Jewel
smoke.
definitely come in contact.
Yeah, Jewel has got a nice little angle inside this building. I think he just did spot Green Theft there, but it wasn't enough to actually take shots at. Green Theft in the backside of the building to Jewel right now.
Jewel almost got picked off from the south as Lipinski was watching Green Theft's auto angle, as they are very well coordinated, and he knew if Jewel tried to go push out, get a kill on the Green Theft, that he would have came out that side. Lipinski almost got a kill on Jewel, but they're still hunting for him.
Oh, Freak and Quoker do trade out there in the southwest side.
They are both down, so they'll both be calling out each other. Should be interesting if any teams are able to get a revive off that very far off area.
One right there.
As of now, Pantheon seems like they definitely won't be able to get the revive onto Freck, as they have a lot to deal with on defense, as the revive does go out for Quokka. Quokka does finish Freck, but Absent gets a kill onto Green Theft. Finally, Green Theft goes down after being the most pushed up Animal House member. It is now a 4v4.
We've got Lipinski over here, and the Nolomite does trade out with Jewel, mind you. The absent-minded prof does pick up Wicked. And it looks like Lipinski over in the far west broken wall. He's kind of pinched in here, mind you, but he is getting some great intel to the team. Quoker taking Jeremiah down from a call-out that Lipinski just gave him.
Very good coordination from Animal House. That Lipinski spot is critical. Even if he can't get any kills, he's able to watch other Animal House members' angles, as we saw earlier, and are able to get callouts. Quokka is about to finish off Duel, most likely, unless Duel does not speak, as he is not right now, as Duel already got the callouts out on Quokka.
Lots of gunfire coming out from Lipinski through the window onto the objective backside, just in case there's anybody in that penetrable wooden shack area. And it looks like he's just gone through an entire box mag on that one. Just reloads real quick, but he's bringing the LMG, so he's got plenty of bullets to go around. And we do have Quokers trying to make a push into the objective area right now. Just across the street, there is smoke on the objective. Or am I looking at the wrong side of
Quokka
the
might
street?
hear the callouts now, as Quokka is watching that angle on the Duo, maybe regretting not getting that double tap on the Duel earlier, unless they're just watching for a flank. But at least from the caster's perspective, from where Quokka's standing, Quokka should be able to hear Duel's callouts.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Jewel is basically telling his teammates exactly where Quokka is right now. With only 2 members of Pantheon up, I don't know if they're going to push him, though. I think they're probably just going to hold their spots, just like Animal House did on that last objective. Just hold it down and let the time... Quokka finishing off Jewel, saying, "That's enough of that, Lippy boy." And Jewel's callouts are now ceased, with Jester and Absent-Minded Prof on the objective. This is a tough one to defend, even with 2, with all of those crazy cap spots. You can cap inside the bar here, guys, in the corner of the bar. So if somebody's able to get in there without them even hearing anything, that's a cap here from Animal House, which will give them the map. I'm sure what's going through Pantheon's minds right now is just hold this down. We just need to just hold this down and let the clock do the job for us, and make sure that nobody gets into these spots.
Absent finally decides to push back from the north spot into the direct area where they are able to cap. Ideally, he is defending that area, but he is still watching a north angle. Maybe they think there is one there, but Prof will change his angle. Look for Lipinski, but Lipinski gets shots on him as Absent missed some of his shots onto Lipinski. It's now just Jester left. Jester kills himself, I think. That way they couldn't cap.
Nope, that would have put another point on the board for Animal House anyhow. They can't kill themselves last man standing. But that does even things up, guys. This could be the way of the whole match tonight. If we go to round 7s or round 6 points, we might see a long cast tonight, guys. Long cast. This next one is the be all and be all of the entire map here, with the 1 point needed for each of them. This will be the last round down here, the dusty streets of Bazaar. What did you think of that round there, Park? It seemed pretty crazy.
It was very crazy, and we saw another very close push between all the Animal House members on Marsoc, where we saw all of them go different angles, but start off in the general same like quadrant. That could be for map control potentially, and especially for that suppression they were able to get off. Jester, I think, made a smart decision there when he was the last one up, running into Lipinski's bullets. I think he did that intentionally. That way they couldn't cap on him on the bar. But Animal House had a very good 2v2 attempt there, as they did the exact same thing as they did on the first round, where they had that 2v2 attempt, slowly picking off the Pantheon members. Should be very interesting. Pantheon goes for a cap here, because that's what they've been successful at so far, or does the same thing as Animal House and goes for those picks.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This is map decider right here, this round, ladies and gentlemen. I would assume Pantheon are going to try for picks rather than cap. But if cap, presents itself, they would take it. But I don't think cap is probably in their mind. Like I said, this is map decider round, spreading out with Freak and Jewel going center. It looks like Jester and Jeremiah pushing the south, with Absent-Minded running straight down the center street here. Nice note.
Takes shots at Green Theft, but isn't able to hit. Both of them are calling each other out right now.
These guys are on top of each other right now. Jester taking down Wicked Hex, Freak taking down Green Theft. All of a sudden, we're a 3-on-5 in favor of Pantheon. Pantheon crashing hard here on these guys. And there's the smoke.
M203 right on the bar cap spot. Freck very close to Quokka, but Quokka is worried about two people at once. Quokka tries to take the shots, but does go down to duel, but it is a trade. TK comes out. Freck kills Absent. Might almost kills Freck, and does get the kill off eventually. Very big error from Freck there. It's now a 2v2.
She went from a 3v5 to a 2v2 in seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. Jester taking down Nolomite was that pushed out player over there for Animal House. I'm not too sure what we're going to see here, but we do have, it looks like we do have Jeremiah on the back side, on the far west of the objective courtyard. Can he sneak in here? And without Lipinski seeing him, he's behind this wood. This wood is only visual. Oh, nice shots from Jeremiah on Lipinski, giving him the round on the map. Nice job.
Very impressive play from Pantheon there on that 2v2. Being able to get those picks off, take it down. That being said, having to one man on the OBJ is very hard for that OBJ. Lipinski had to constantly rotate, giving away his info through his footsteps. So Jeremiah was able to hear him, look above the wooden crate, and get the kill.
Yeah, that was a tough... Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, off to the Wild West here. We're going to Abandoned for our Pantheon map pick. Not what I was expecting. What do you think, Park?
This definitely was not what I was expecting either, as I was expecting more of a Snow Peak pick for these guys, but maybe their mindset is, okay, they banned Downfall against us. So if we pick Abandoned, a super long map, even bigger than Downfall, arguably, and maybe they were afraid of Prof sniping abilities. That could have been their mindset behind this map pick, especially considering Snow Peak does have some Seeky View angles that they might be scared of against Animal House.
Yeah, and this first objective is another one of those quick cap objectives over by the middle apartment over there on the east side of this little island, coastal town. I've seen this thing cap in 60 seconds of game start.
Yeah, it's a very quick OBJ where you can get a cap on, as the abandoned spawns are quite wild. On this one, there is only one spawn for Marsoc right on the hole in the wall area in the south, but a lot of OBJs will have 4 to 5, sometimes even 6 spawns, make it very unpredictable for the defense. But Animal House will know where Pantheon spawns on this OBJ, so that might give them a little bit of an advantage on Volk here.
Let's get down to the gameplay here so I can kind of show these guys in chat what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about this. This is one objective that I do not agree with the Volk spawn. The Volk spawn all the way over here for this objective, which to me is way too far away from for a defending team that have to cross the lines of the attacking team to even get to the objective. It's not a great spawn for a defensive team, in my opinion. I wish they would spawn behind the apartments, perhaps. What do you think, Park?
Yeah, I think it's a really weird choice on these spawns here, as it kind of forces them to go into the line of fire of Marsoc, as almost always Marsoc will send one in the hole in the wall to pre-fire that cross that the defenders are forced to make. Maybe that's a way for the developers to maybe try to make Marsoc have a little bit of advantage, where most maps Volk always have an advantage. But if so, I think you should balance all OBJs, not just that one. So it's very interesting decision, but there's a lot of interesting spawns on Abandoned, so it's a very unpredictable map.
I did notice that Quoker, Nolamite, and Green Theft did take the low entrance into the backside of the apartments. We've got Wicked Hex pushing out to the... Looks like we got two, Lipinski and Wicked Hex, that pushed into the tank warehouse. Massive push out over there on the east side from Nolamite and Quoker. I think Nolamite might get first dibs here, with Jeremiah and Jester pushing down through the pass over here on the east side. Nolamite does take shots at Jester, but doesn't land anything, unfortunately, but he does get intel. It looks like he might have got shots himself. He just had to syringe up there a little bit.
Duel here in the third story could potentially go up there and maybe get in contact with Lipinski if he pushes out, but C4 goes out. Green Theft Auto does get Jeremiah with Jester right behind him. Could get the revive, but a flash does go out. Coco will push it. Gets that confirmed. Jester will stay back. Make sure he doesn't die himself.
Quoker gets a second on the absent-minded prof there across the map from east to west. A nice shooting, Tex. But that does leave Jester down here on his lonesome on the east side. And I think that's Jewel up in the 3-story, and Quoker just called out somebody in the 3-story right there. Let's throw shots up to the windows in the 3-story so they can make the cross back to the apartments. Flash does come out. Freak takes out Nolamite on the north side. And he just got called out.
Retreating back. Jester tried to pre-fire it, but Quokka made the smart decision to go back towards OBJ. Freck gets another kill on the Wicked, evening out the team here, 3v3.
And Freak is really close to potentially capping this. There is smoke all over the OBJ right now. Green Theft going down to Freak, trying to crash out. I think Green Theft was probably trying to get rid of that smoke. I think he was going to try and pick up that smoke. We only have 2 defenders right now. I take that back. We only have 1 defender right now, with Jester taking Quoker down on the backside of the apartments. And Jewel taking Lipinski down. They should have had some more communication. Lipinski was a long way away from the OBJ, and Freak could have capped that. Nice job, Pantheon. Well done.
Very well coordinated push there. Only if it was a little bit more coordinated, if Freck was able to call out, hey, I'm capping, and they knew there's 1 left, Duel probably would have tried to distract and not get that kill. But everything was happening so quick, it's super hard to coordinate that, as Duel was literally right in front of the defender. Of course, you're going to instantly want to shoot him. Yeah. So it makes sense, but still very good. At first, it looked pretty grim for Pantheon's Animal House, especially Quoko was getting a lot of picks onto them. But eventually, Freck, from that very shocking north push that I don't think Animal House expected, was able to clear quite a few of them, opening up lanes for Jester and Duel to come in.
I totally agree. You know, it's really easy to make judgments up here in the caster's booth, up in the eye in the sky. But when you're down on the field and you're making those calls like split seconds, it's completely different when you're down in the game. You've got to remember, these guys are playing a game where there are no tags, there are no lasers, there are no player outlines. I don't see any of that. We are very lucky to be in the caster's booth to be able to see all that, so we can tell you guys exactly where everybody is at the time. But down on the field, it's a different story. That's why you'll see team kills come out every once in a while, because they really don't know if somebody's in the shadows 100% if it's a bit friendly or not, unless they're like really tablet aware. And like I said, split-second decisions down on the map can be life-changing, without a doubt. So we're taking some time to get into the next round here. Oh, and as I say that, here we go, round 2.
Should be interesting if Animal House. Oh, looks like only 4 spawn in for Pantheon. Oh, never mind. That was a casting overlay glitch, you know. Should be interesting if Animal House decides to pre-fire the defense lane spawn, or the cross they have to make, as Pantheon last round decided not to pre-fire it and get a very quick push onto them. So it should be interesting to see what they decide. Looks like they're opting to do the same thing as Pantheon and not even bother pre-firing it.
But Pantheon getting the pre-fire back in their general direction, with Jeremiah pushing hard down the street in front of the objective buildings there. Lots of gunfire coming out, trying to maybe just tag somebody. Doesn't get any shots on anybody, but you never know with that pre-fire. You could take one down, you could take nobody down.
You want the pipes in the middle?
Wicked Hex calling out some great call-outs here. Jewel taking Green Theft down, mind you, and Quoker on a double.
Only one left in the east now. Nolamite way behind. Duel might not expect Nolamite to come this late, but Duel had time to adjust and will probably start watching the east again. So unfortunate, Duel could have got picked off there. Duel does opt to go more towards OBJ now, as he might think the east is a little bit more safe, or at least going in a more aggressive angle, watching this very long cross here, as Duel does know there's probably a few of them back, especially with Wicked shooting down on pipes earlier in the round.
Yeah, Nolamite might, if he's sneaky enough, might catch Jewel in the back here. And Jewel's pushing back just to check this angle again, but he does have his back to this quite a bit. He might run into Jewel's lasers right now. Oh no, Nolamite misses all of those shots on the Jewel, giving away his location. He is backing off like a madman now, knowing that he's been called out right there. Jewel might push this, but I'm not sure. Pantheon 5 on 4.
One in the 3-story.
5 on 3, as there is 2 Animal House people dead. Lipinski is in 3-story with Freck, possibly trying to sneak up, as Lipinski is moving super slow, trying not to give away to Freck that he is in there. But Freck will decide to go more towards the 2nd story of the building. Maybe 1st story could give Lipinski an opportunity to shoot him on that staircase through the window on the back side.
Yeah, his lasers are just trained, and there it is. Nice shot from Lipinski. Well done. Excellent.
Excellent discipline from Lipinski there, waiting for those shots, hearing the footsteps, knowing what he had to do. Freck probably had no clue Lipinski was even there with how slow he was moving. It is now a 3v4.
Yeah, that was some discipline right there, holding it down. And now he's up on the 3-story, just raining bullets down onto the apartment. He does have, I think it's absent-minded location, like pinpointed there, but didn't land any shots, unfortunately. We are down to a 2
He's
now.
able to take out Wicked.
It's just me and you left. Wicked's dead.
All lasers are pretty focused on Lipinski in 3-story right now. Maybe give an opportunity for the other Marsoc person alive to do a little flank, as they are on the beach on the north here, but Lipinski does go down.
That leaves Nolamite.
Only
Left on the beach. Nolamite is on the beach. Probably just checked his tablet just before we crashed over to him here and just discovered that he is the lonely warrior right now. Last man standing down on the beach against 4. Oh boy. 4 Pantheon players. Uphill battle here on such a large map with only really 2 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock, which sounds like a lifetime, but this is one of the largest maps available right now in the map pool. So 2 minutes and being on the other side of the map is probably not going to work in his favor with 4 members of Pantheon still up and running. What do you think's going through Nolamite's mind right now, Park?
I think he's definitely going for picks. One of the advantages of being the last Marsoc member alive on a map like Abandoned, unlike Bazaar, where we saw Lipinski try to get that clutch and dual shock in the same very tight-knit OBJ, Nolamite will probably be looking for different buildings, very spread out. But at the same time, like you said, he has a lot of distance to cover in a very short amount of time. Nolamite, we did see in the very back east earlier, obviously decided it would be safer to come this route, but he probably didn't know all of his teammates would die and would leave him in the situation, which is pretty unfavorable based on the route he ended in. But this north push from Nolamite could catch him out, but there is only 1:30 left on the clock.
Yeah, that clock is ticking down now, and really all Pantheon have to do is use the clock in their advantage. Just hold angles and don't get peaky. There's enough of them up, but they could still lose 2 players and still clutch this without any problems. So they really don't need to get peaky. And it looks like I haven't seen any of them really moving around too awful much. So I think that's probably their strategy right now, is just, yeah, wait for that guy to come to us, pick him off, take the round.
It'd be interesting here as Nolamite will slowly approach. But I do think Jester does sometimes put lines onto the north, but Nolamite could maybe get a pick onto Jester here. But I don't think Nolamite will have the exact right angle they will need. Jester lasers barely misses Nolamite as Jester looked there for a very quick second. Nolamite groaning all the way to OBJ. I don't think this is going to work. There's only 40 seconds, and OBJ is pretty well covered. I do think Nolamite will probably not be able to get the cap off, but who knows, especially with a sneak smoke that they might be able to try to use.
He's behind the wall now, so he doesn't have to worry about Jester, but it looks like we're going to get a crash to his area right now by Jewel, and goes down. Pantheon take another round, guys.
Very impressive. Loss could easily throw them down, so this is an extremely important match for Pantheon, and I think they're showing us and all the viewers how important this match is to them, putting up an amazing performance here.
Yeah, Park and I talked a little bit off cast tonight about how important this match is. This could be life or death here for Pantheon. They need this series win to stay in the top 7. So this is really important to them. If they lose this match tonight, it could possibly push them down, depending on the overall score at the end, out of that semi-final reign of the top 7.
We have seen some pretty impressive play from Pantheon late in the season here. Early in the season, it wasn't going so good for them as they were pushed down, way far down into the diamond ranks, but as of late, they have been making a comeback, a surgence back into that top 7 area that they started the season around, with doing challenge matches and everything you can name to possibly get in the playoff range. And right now, all of their work is paying off, as if they do win the series, it's almost a guaranteed playoff spot for Pantheon. Animal House should be fine no matter what. They are pretty high in the ladder. I don't foresee there being a possibility where they can really lose out on a playoff spot, so this might not be as important for them, but obviously Animal House is still trying as hard as Pantheon.
That's correct. But let's get round there and find out what's going to happen on this next one. Round 3.
We got an east spawn here for the Pantheon offense. One of the many spawns for this OBJ. Should be interesting to see if they're able to utilize this.
Yeah, I've seen this one capped pretty quick as well, with 203 smoke and people just pushing up to that backside, that south side of the wall here. So it could be interesting to see what they're going to do from a Marsakian standpoint. But Nolamite might be making contact with Jester here. Oh, C4! Ooh, he was just outside the range of that C4. Nolamite trying to C4 Jester there, and the Jester was just on the outside radius of that C4 kill. So that was lucky for Jester. Shots coming out from Green Theft, taking Jeremiah down.
Across south east.
Green Theft is a very good position there on that third story. Almost caught Jester way earlier on when Nolamite was starting to C4 towards him, and Jester was forced to rotate back. Very close to them having 2 kills, but so far still a successful position with 1 kill on there. Oh, Green Theft Auto looking at the angle for Jester, barely missing the shots onto his. Jester avoids it. Mobstar getting the kill onto Freck from the OBJ area.
Lipinski taking down Jester on the instant refrag. Nolamite here still tucked in the corner. Mobstar up on the objective area. Jewel in the backside on the north side of the tank workshop could be the push that's going to hopefully take out Nolamite's position. But I don't think he's going to expect Nolamite around the corner here, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if he's going to make this push.
Lipinski on a huge flank here was able to catch a kill off the flank earlier. I'm not sure if Duel and the rest of Pantheon are alerted of this flank, but Duel and Lipinski could get very near each other here soon, as Duel is kind of just waiting by that barricade.
Yeah, I don't think Jewel is aware of Lipinski or Nolamite here, to be honest with you. He's probably trying to figure out, here's Lipinski making a push up here, and I don't think he knows Jewel's here either. However, Jewel hears the footsteps and takes Lipinski down on that flank. Nice job, Jewel.
Very good awareness here. They're hearing those footsteps, knowing they'll probably be out in the open peeking up instantly, but Quokka gets another kill on a 3-story. I still hear Duel talking. Might think there's members left, but I think he pulled out his tablet, so he knows that they have a tough task ahead of him, as he is the final one. 1v4, as we discussed earlier, on this map with a lot of distance to cover, very hard to pull it off. But there is a little bit more time here on the clock for Duel than Nolamite had.
Yep, he's got a little bit more time on the clock, and he's closer to the objective than Nolamite was on that last push. So he still has an uphill battle, 1-on-4, but I've seen that happen. Checking his tablet, I think he's checking his tablet for the code, so maybe he's thinking cap, but I think that's going to be an uphill struggle to cap. I think he needs to be thinking picks here, to be honest with you. This one's kind of an objective in the middle of nowhere, being up by that wall, and with Quokka, he just crashed out from that 3rd story on the 3-story. Quokka had a great visual down onto the objective area, but everybody seemed to have moved around here a little bit, with Jewel pushing from the north. And nobody... Oh, Quokka back into the 2nd story of the 3-story building. Again, great eyes from that 2nd story. But Quokka keeps pushing from the east to the south, and now he's pushed to the 3rd story, and he does have lines down on Jewel. Does catch Jewel out with that finishing kill. Put another point on the board, but this time for Animal House.
Nice defense from Animal House there. With 4 remaining, they had a nice mix of very passive play, good spots like the 3-story, but also that flank for Lipinski, which did pay off early on, being able to shut down Jester, I think.
That was a crazy flank from Lipinski that really paid off. Again, I don't think he knew Jewel was there. And Jewel heard the footsteps from Lipinski trying to crash in the backside of what he thought was the last couple of Marsok players over there on the east side, but didn't know that Jewel was right there. So Jewel took so much advantage of that and took Lipinski off the map. Interesting push.
Very interesting push. It seemed a little bit aggressive to start, but with Pantheon, what ended up happening was they kind of pushed that wall that you mentioned earlier where they could cap from, but they pushed up so quickly and they had so many angles on that wall of Green Theft in the back, shutting down any flanks or rotations off that wall. Nolamite pushing up right on that wall with that C4. They kind of shut down that early cap push quick, which kind of left Pantheon very disassembled.
Yeah, they pushed out pretty hard to defend that as Animal House, and I think that the Pantheon weren't ready for that. Let's find out what Pantheon are going to do to defend this, and what Animal House are going to try and get in here for a cap or not.
Animal House is a very far spawn here, so if they go for the cap, it's going to have to be way later on. I think getting the farthest spawn possible on this OBJ.
Looks like Freak's got the north side here, so he might get some picks off here potentially on anybody pushing here on the north, and looks away just at the wrong time. But yeah, Freak's got the north covered, but I think he missed that push on the back side over on the east side behind the apartments. Green Theft Auto now pushing up here. Green Theft Auto maybe making a push through here. Oh, Freak does miss those shots on a Green Theft, but does know that Green Theft is in the tank workshop. Green Theft getting shot at knows pretty much where Freak is at this point. And they are talking to each other through the walls.
Utility goes out by Freck. The flash probably didn't get Green Theft, but another utility goes out. Maybe that got him, but probably unlikely here.
Oh, shots coming down from Absent in there as well. Green Theft and Freak trading out. Excellent.
Even with that trade, there will be an accurate kill count on the Pantheon side, as we had someone in 3-story, absent-minded prof with the sniper watching that angle. Animal House will probably think, unless they heard the gunshot stop at the same time, that there's still 5 members of Pantheon up, as we do have Quokka here flanking the very back side of 3-story.
Yeah, making a nice push around the cliffs onto the 3-story. Absent-minded is kind of trying to get some intel out of the back windows, but he's on the north side of that 3-story right now, and Quokka's coming all the way around. It's yeah, this could be a nice little rotation from Quokka. Quokka's going to need some some distraction fire from the rest of the team if he's going to make it up to that wall, though, because otherwise we're going to get some attention down here sooner than later.
Yeah, there's definitely going to have to be some help on Quokka to potentially push through and maybe even get the cap, as there will be a lot of people in Quokka's way here with Jeremiah right ahead. Quokka's laser pretty close, but won't be able to see them past the wall. And Jester and Duel pretty close to OBJ as well. But it does seem like there might be some... We do have Lipinski in the very south here with another person, Mobstar, flanking up into possibly the U-shaped barricade there. So there might be some support on the south, but rather than that, I'm not sure Quokka will get much help.
Quokka's laser is just trained on this corner where Jeremiah is right now. Does look away for a split second. Jeremiah does turn around. Nice shots there from Quokka on Jeremiah. Oh, Mobstar going down to the likes of absent-minded profs. 12 times scoped sniper rifle.
Pantheon being able to utilize Prof's very nice sniper skills on this OBJ. I have noticed they don't use Prof as a sniper every round, as he is a versatile player. But on this OBJ, they have decided, since the spawn is so close to 3-story, they put Prof up there, and it has paid off for Pantheon so far. But it is still very close with a 3v3 here.
It looks like Jewel is going to crash.
Gets flashed from Quokka, but Prof gets his shots off, and Jester was also shooting that way. But it will give Jester's position to Nolamite, creeping up right behind Jester here. But Jester does decide to move more closer to OBJ, so Nolamite might not be able to get that kill. But Jester does move a little bit back.
Oh, almost backs right into Nolamite's line here. Oh, there it is.
Does.
I shoot
2v2.
Nolamite just being very tight there and making sure that he was keeping that angle just closed down, knowing that somebody was just around the corner waiting for him to move into his laser, and the shots came in. Nolamite taking that kill. Nolamite now is probably the closest to making it into the objective. Again, he's going to need some backup from the other team member. Who is it we've got left up here? Again, Lipinski. Lipinski likes being last man standing on these maps. He's going to need some distraction from Lipinski if he's going to be able to make any kind of push into the OBJ. If he can get around the back side of this dumpster wall right here and just sneak, I'm not sure if Absent Mind might have a line on it from here. Ooh, nobody lands any shots, but Nolamite now is pulled out. Oh, Jewel does get the shots in the Nolamite.
Nice flank there. It is now a 2v1. Lipinski has to try to do another clutch situation, but this will be a little bit easier than past ones. There is less people, but the problem is with Lipinski does seem to be playing it pretty long right now with 50 seconds. Even though there's only 2 up, this might be a very difficult clutch here for Lipinski with the timer and the distance he has to travel.
Lipinski's probably thinking at about the 30-second mark, just run and gun this and hope for the best, I think. And we're getting close to that 30-second mark right now, and there it is. Here comes the beeps in Lipinski's ear right now. Let him know he's got 30 seconds to kill or cap. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do either, because the Absent-Minded and Jewel have got great angles on the objective, and they can pretty much just cut off this entire angle that Lipinski's trying to push. Lipinski does take shots. Absent-Minded Prof does take him down. Got one more to go. Who did he get in? Clutch in the round. My God, Lipinski, you legend!
Lipinski's super happy about that clutch.
Wow. I've got no words.
Of those late peaks.
No words. That was awesome. Well done, Lipinski. Like I said, it was a run and gun of the last 30 seconds of that round, and he pulled it off. Yeah, amazing. Good job. Good job. That evens everything up again. 2 apiece. I'm going to get some points on the board here. What is going on?
Animal House coming back from the 2-0 deficit that takes a very mentally strong team that can't be bothered by round losses, as Animal House obviously has not been bothered by losing rounds in a good way, where they have improved from what they did on previous OBJs and have won the following 2 rounds. Pantheon could be a little bit shaken here, but might need a little mental reset, and this new OBJ in the warehouse might allow them to do so.
Yeah, at this rate, I think we could see a map 3 decider, and as a caster, that is a caster's dream. We're going into the warehouse right now, the tank warehouse, and correct me if I'm wrong, Puck, can you still cap in the underground here? Underneath that tank?
From what I'm aware of, you are able to, but it's a very specific angle, which is you have to go in that bottom part, go in the hallway there, and I think there's a very specific angle you will be able to cap from under, which a lot of teams don't know about, but I'm sure both Pantheon and Animal House probably do know about that cap spot.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
Especially Pantheon.
Let's get down there and find out.
You have played Abandoned a lot.
Let's find out what Lipinski and his band of merry animals are going to do with this one on a defensive round, with Pantheon coming in with a great push coming from their chief and leader, Freak the Monster. Okay, so it looks like they're making a pretty well pushed out defense with it. Looks like Lipinski, no, I take that back. Green Theft Auto making his way over to the middle apartment over on the east, with 3 men staying inside the building. I thought, yep, I did see one push out. We've got Quoker in the 3rd story of the 3-story over there on the west. And let's take a look and see what our Pantheon guys are doing. Looks like they're over in the Snake. We've got a push coming.
Shots going out from Green Theft Auto in that apartment building. The East squad from Pantheon will probably be alerted that there will be somebody in that building. They will definitely slow down their push a little bit, looking out for that. As Freck does push up pretty close to OBJ, Green Theft from that building does get an angle onto Absent-Minded Prof, making it a 5v4.
And here's Freak on the south side of the objective building already, just to taken down Green Theft, so that is the apartments cleared out, so they don't need to worry about that quite as much. But we've got Lipinski, so it's running back and forth inside of the objective building, with Freak just on the, what's that, the southeast corner of the objective building. Shots coming out from Quoker from 3-story. Jewel might try and take that out right there, because they need to clear out that 3-story to gain access, or at least safe access. Ooh, Quoker does hear and maybe sees Jewel. Jewel is in the building of the 3-story right now. Can Jewel get upstairs and clear it out? Jewel's getting up the stairs, and he's on the 2nd story. And will he make it upstairs and clear it out? He's decided to stay.
Yeah, I'm watching south, don't worry about that area.
On the stairs, but he is trying to get call-outs from inside the 3-story. Quoker's listening to that.
Nolamide takes out Freck. Very smart from Duel to stay down there, as Quoka will not be able to look at their angles anymore, and Quoka is doing pretty good up there earlier, so even if Duel doesn't push up, Quoka is shut down for now.
These two are getting call-outs to each other, and yeah, Quoker is, like you said, he's off those windows, which means that his angles down onto the backside of the objective building is pretty much given up. And as I say that, he moves back to the windows just to take a quick look, just in case, takes a couple of shots out of the windows, and then moves back to the staircase.
Pantheon member did have an angle on Quoka there from those windows, but unfortunately didn't take the shots. As a player, especially on Quest, it is very hard to see those shadows from that 3rd-story window, especially when they know there is a teammate in there. Nolamite tags Jester, but doesn't get the kill. Flash probably gets Nolamite. Jester will be pushing up, but not in time, as the flash will wear out.
Quoker finally pushes. Takes him out. Nice job there from Jewel on the Quoker, taking complete control of the 3-story building. Nice push.
2v3. Duel could have caught out Nolamite there if he went in the windows instantly, but obviously he didn't want to be that risky. Duel also had an opportunity to kill Nolamite earlier when they were entering the 3-story building, but didn't look quite towards the apartments, as they were focused on 3-story, understandably. But if Duel hears those footsteps, he might be able to get a kill on Nolamite now, as he looks down, but not quite at the right angles. He doesn't want to expose his entire body.
Yeah, Jewel, I would swear he would have seen Nolamite from that angle, but decides to leave the building.
592959.
Very interesting. Duel might still have an opportunity later to get a kill on a Nolamite, but it seems like Nolamite will be crashing back to OBJ area, which makes sense. Supporting Mobstar and everybody else, as they do know there are an attacker near the area, but Duel pushing up right behind Nolamite too.
Yeah, this could be interesting right here because Jewel needs to get access to the building, and Jeremiah and Nolomite are right on top of each other. Shots coming in from Jeremiah, takes down Nolomite, so that is clear.
Interesting scenario. Animal House has full control of the OBJ, but Duel and Jeremiah have full control of the north side of the OBJ right now.
Yeah, they have control
It'll
of
be
the
interesting.
inside, but yeah, they, like you said, Pantheon have got full control of the outside. Ooh, Lipinski almost takes Jewel out there. Ooh, flash in.
Nice flash.
Okay, so Jewel is in the building. Nice grenade. Unfortunately, it doesn't make contact with anybody. And Lipinski's trying to crash on a Jewel's position here. And I thought he was going to come up those stairs. Mobster takes out Jeremiah. Jewel is trying to crash into the building. Goes back to the underground.
Open contact Lipinski here, but Lipinski gets a headshot.
Gosh, so close.
Lipinski, a key player.
That could have gone either way, Park, as far as I'm concerned. Either way.
That was super close with that 2v2. I really thought Pantheon did have the advantage there with all the smokes in OBJ, but that utility that Lipinski did send out did shut down Duel for a bit as Jeremiah was still approaching. It gave Animal House time to shut down Jeremiah by the time Duel was back online, ready to go. And yeah, Lipinski just having barely more accurate shots on the Duel shot there. Very close round. It's now 3-2 for Animal House on Pantheon's only map pick of the night. This could go very bad for Pantheon if they lose this map, and Animal House will be able to decide the final map.
Yeah, that's it's certainly looking like we might go to a third map decider, which, like I keep saying, I'm okay with that, because from a caster's perspective, I'd like to go around 7 map 3 decider personally. Everybody's nails biting. But Animal House really bringing it home right now. I've been very impressed with their plays, and but that last round I think could have gone either way, to be honest with you. That was very close. I think if Jewel had not gone underground and gone around into the smoke, he might have had a better play there. But like I said, when you're up in the casting booth, it's easy to call this stuff out. When you're down in the thick of it, it's split-second decisions, and Jewel decided to go down into the tunnels, which is exactly where Lipinski was.
In these higher ranked matchups, what really sets teams apart is those split-second decisions that we've been talking about all night. Which team has more experience will have an advantage on those split-second decisions, that they have been in similar scenarios more often. It's kind of like when you have a bunch of data in your brain on certain scenarios, you're able to make more informed decisions, which might give Animal House a little bit of an edge here, as they have been playing most of their members for a little bit longer, but Abandon was reintroduced, so I do think both teams have a similar experience on this map.
Yeah, this new refreshed Abandoned is new to both teams in the last couple of seasons. So I mean, they've probably got about the same kind of playtime on this map. Being that Animal House has been around for so long, this map has not. So I think they've probably got about the same kind of experience here. Lots of gunfire coming out early. I think they picked out where Frick is on the backside of the OBJ building. Frick is now backing off of that area. Jump over to Lipinski and find out what's going on down over here in the southeast corner. Like Lipinski's taken the snake down to the apartment's backside and see if we can get any kind of intel there onto the back of Jester. Jester is in the, I think he's in the middle apartment there.
Just a second ago, there were lasers all over Absent-Minded Prof's window. They're still kind of sending lasers on that window. Prof has to be very careful not to overexpose himself here in the third story.
Yeah, and it looks like Jester has got the backside of the apartments locked down. Lipinski decides not to go around the backside of the apartments, and he's pushing the front side of the apartments to the front side of the OBJ, or the east side of the OBJ building right now. Lasers bouncing all over that big double doorway area. Not getting any intel right now. Frick is probably in on the south side of the OBJ right now. Yes, he is. Jester is the one I'm going to be worried about.
Yeah, his positioning could definitely be deadly here, as it is a very slow push from Animal House so far. We have seen some aggressive play from them tonight, but as of now, they're slowly taking their time here, which I think is the right decision on Abandon, as you want to get all of your guys on optimal angles where you're able to pick people off on a very spread out map that usually encourages spread out defenses.
Yeah, taking a look at the overhead right now, they've really cut off the map at the 50-yard line for Animal House right now. So they're making a slow, methodical push up, checking angles, making sure they're taking full use of the time without losing players. This could be map decider for Animal House right now. So they really are taking their time on this, making sure they're clearing those areas that are well known. Jester is the one I'm worried about here from Lipinski's standpoint. Absent-minded taking out Nolomite over there from that west side. Good grief, it looks like Lipinski's going to make it past Jester.
Jester in a hard scenario here as they have to look out for footsteps, but also watch OBJ from there. So they're probably going back and forth between the rooms. And right now, with Lipinski going slow, like we saw earlier, especially with that smoke that just came out, Lipinski could easily get past Jester here and possibly into their building and take them out.
Now, Lipinski just called something in, and I'm not sure if Jester heard him. He did just call something out on his radio, but Jester didn't turn or anything to kind of acknowledge. Oh, hang on, did I just hear somebody? Green Theft also joined up with Lipinski on the back. Oh, I just hear the call out from Jester saying 2 on the back of apartments, so...
Jester probably trying to not give away their position here. I think that's what they're trying to do. That's why the late callouts came in. Very interesting tactic there, as Duel was very open for Lipinski to kill there, but Duel was able to find cover as Quokka takes him out, as Duel does be very aggressive and kind of goes on top of something there.
Yeah, it looks like Green Theft is not aware right now of Jester in that 3-story, because he hasn't even looked up to these windows once yet.
Maybe the strategy of being secret did pay off from Jester as he gets a kill on the Green Theft, but instant reflare goes out. The C4 gets Mobstar who killed Jester, but the C4 a little bit late, not being able to save their teammate. But Prof getting Quokka from that north angle, very critical play as there's only Lipinski left. Another Lipinski clutch opportunity.
Will we see it again? Lipinski against 3. We've seen it happen once already down here on Abandoned. Can he do it again? It's very possible. He's got time on his hands again, about the same kind of time he had last round.
Lipinski definitely has an inaccurate kill count here, as there was a lot of kills that went out quick and a lot of refrags, as Lipinski was looking onto those apartment windows, still thinking someone was alive in there. So the callouts for that kill were not able to get out, as they were C4'd instantly after the shots came out.
Yeah, Lipinski checking all of those angles really quickly before he makes any move in, checking the 3-story and not seeing any movement over there. He knows that time's fleeting here. He's down the last 50 seconds on the clock, so he needs to move in here a little quicker. But he's got a lot of angles to worry about here, big time, with that 3-story with Absent-Minded in his 12 times just bouncing around. But he's on the ground floor now. So Absent-Minded doesn't have Overwatch anymore. Going to be interesting on what Lipinski decides to push in here. Oh, and Absent-Minded does get that shot into the back of Lipinski, putting us on a 3-3. Ooh. Another round decider in our hands. Can you believe it, Park?
This is the most crazy matchup I have seen in such a long time. 3-3 deciders on both maps. The only difference this time is on the decider, Pantheon will have to take Marsoc and Animal House will have Volk, where Pantheon on that other decider did have Volk advantage, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they might have had Marsoc actually, because of the cap. It's actually the same sides here. Yep. I forgot that there was that cap in the first map. So Pantheon taking Marsoc again on the 3-3 scenario, and Animal House will try to do the same scenario on Volk.
And we're at that far west objective on between the water towers and the cargo containers. And this one is very defendable objective, but saying that, if we're seeing the kind of capping speeds that we've been seeing before, smoke in this kind of general area here, you can cap from the other side of these walls and behind this generator. There are lots of capping opportunities with the right scenarios falling into play.
Very interesting. Another OBJ here where there are multiple cap spots that both of the teams should be aware of and will probably be looking out for, especially on Animal House. Pantheon, I mean, what we saw on their 3-3 Marsoc push on Bazaar was a little aggressive, where we saw M203 smokes going out on OBJ, where Animal House still had to be cautious of the cap despite it being 3-3. I wonder if Pantheon will implement a similar strategy here.
And round 7 underway. I'm curious on what's going through these guys' minds. Animal House need to clutch this round to stay in the series right now. This is series deciding point right here. If Animal House lose this, that takes the series to Pantheon and secures their place in the playoffs. If Animal House can take this, we're going to a map 3 decider. Ooh, shots coming out early.
They got north spawn, one at pipes.
Woke might be able to catch out Prof, and they do, as Prof does those early shots, but gives away his position in the process. Jester will be right below Quokka. The angle's too steep for either of them to see each other, I think.
Yeah.
But Jester barely misses Quokka there, but it's just such a steep angle.
Quokka's looking, though. He's looking for somebody on the beach. But like you said, the angles are just in the favor of Jester to be able to hide down there at the base of this kind of cliff area on the beach. Jester now making a push along the beach, trying to get up and maybe get Quokka in the back here, potentially. We're about to find out if he's able to make that happen. Quokka really pushing out.
Jester not looking far enough here. I'm not sure if Jester could get an angle or if that hill was blocking his sight. But Quokka in a very dangerous situation here for both teams. Quokka could easily catch these guys off guard, but Pantheon does seem to be watching a lot of their angles as Quokka does get a kill on the frag. The refrag should come out. Jeremiah does get that refrag on their fallen East teammate.
Wow, yeah, Quokka really putting a lot of scare tactics in there, getting behind. The one thing about a flanker is if you can get behind the players, take one and then back off, now they're worried about, are you still there? And that really does put the fear of God into players when they're not too sure if there's still a flanker alive behind them or not. It slows them right down. But they're clearing out that flanker, really takes that off the equation right now. Jeremiah worried about what's going on in the east side snake tunnels right now.
Even though Pantheon only has 3 left, and even though it's 3-3, they could have a cap opportunity, as Nolamite, who just shot, is very, very far off of OBJ. Now that they know Nolamite's position, maybe they'll try to go for a very risky cap on 3-3, just knowing Nolamite is so far off. Very risky position, but maybe could pay off if they shut down Jeremiah.
Another C4 going off and not catch anybody. But Nolamite and Jeremiah is going to be the next thing to worry about here, with Jester taking out Green Theft. Animal House
OBJ is wide open right now. If they're able to take out Lipinski, I think this could be a cap opportunity despite it being 3-3.
Yeah, lots of gunfire coming out, but like you said, the OBJ's wide open. Jeremiah and Nolamite here are so super quiet, I don't think either of them know that they're on the other side of this rock from each other. And who's going to get the kill, or will it be a trade? Let's find out. It's about to happen any second now. Nice! Rounding the corner of Nolamite, killing Jeremiah. And now he's crashing back to the objective.
Very, very risky defense from Animal House here, but it could pay off right now as they do have the man advantage 3-2. It seems like the remainder of Pantheon have met up in the south, might decide to go for a east push here.
Yeah, it looks like they've rebanded up and had a little chit-chat to find out, okay, what's the plan here? And Jester looks like he might be scavenging for some utility from a dead Volk player. And it looks like Jules going to make the same push over to the east side, where Nolamite just took out his buddy. Jester trying to get some shots onto Nolamite. And all of a sudden we're a 2-on-2 with... Who is that in the way? This mobster is a long way off the objective with only 2 men up. That's kind of worrying. Like you said, objective is way open for a cap, really, with only Lipinski on the objective. If they can take Lipinski down, that leaves the objective way open. Mobstar does kind of, I think, feel that that might be the plan, so he's crashing back to the objective right now. But he's got across some wide open space to get anywhere near it right now.
Up on OBJ, so he's close. I think the guy from 3 stories. So we need to go.
Jester with the perfect call out there saying, I think the guy from 3-story crashed back, and it was the guy from 3-story. So Duel knows it is possible that 3-story could be open, and maybe Duel will even decide to take 3-story himself.
Yeah, it looks like he's pushing in on that high side. I'm not too sure if he'll take the 3-story, but he certainly is going to use this high side up on the north side of the objective to possibly get some shots onto Mobster. Here, potentially. Oh, nice. That smoke's coming out. Yep, that's smoke right there.
Barely misses from the lasers. Both Mobstar and Lipinski try to find Duel. Oh, but Lipinski does find Duel. Barely sees him go in the smoke. It is now just Jester left. Jester wide in the open. If Lipinski peeks out on the angle, they will be seen. But Lipinski might have got flashed there. As Jester pushes in, this could be even a cap opportunity, as Lipinski was not able to see the push out. Oh, wow. It is a cap opportunity as Jester is going for the cap right now, but decides to hear the footsteps.
Gets the kill!
Gets the clutch!
Nice job there,
4-3.
Pantheon. Well done. I honestly thought that we were going to be seeing a cap there, but Mobstar decided, yeah, God, I hear somebody coming, and goes for the kill instead. Excellent clutch there. Give him Pantheon. Give him Pantheon the series, my guy. Give him Pantheon the series. Well done. That secures their spot right now in the semi-finals. The Animal House now fighting for MMR to make sure that they stay in play. And we're going to a small map, guys. That's right. We're going down to Suburbia. Get that on the board for us.
I think this was a pretty expected map pick from Animal House, no matter if they lost or won here, as it is one of their best maps. And Pantheon, even though the maps have been very close, they have been generally successful on those long maps. So this map pick definitely makes sense on Animal House's side.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be fast and furious. This can be a real pain to cast because the plays are so fast and furious. It's hard to get down and get some good close actions. You're probably going to see me doing a lot more high angles on this one, Mike. But where are we going for the first one? We are going to... Is that Tank OBJ for the first one? It certainly is. Tank objective. Down here. On the suburbs. Let's get down to the gameplay so we can at least take a look around while they get some strats in the tent.
Looks like we might have a sub coming in for Pantheon here, as they either had a technical drop, or since they've already won, they might be deciding to put in an extra member. As I do know, based on the warm-up they had earlier, there were some extra Pantheon members available, ready to go. Might be getting some fresh blood in the match right now.
It's always nice when you've got a full roster, that when you've won the series and you've still got a whole map to do, is get some of your other team members in and play. I know WCO, we like to do that, is rotate players around, so everybody on the team gets an opportunity, especially when you've really won the series already. They've secured their spot. Now it's just a matter of MMR. So it's nice that Freak does that. I really appreciate team captains that tries to get the whole team involved.
Right, and Pantheon has a very interesting system where they do have a starter-based system where they will have their set starters, but they will also get everybody included, bringing in extra members. Usually when they secure a series, that's when they decide to do so, especially considering Pantheon's depth has improved over the seasons, where I think they have much more depth than they used to, with the skill gap between some of the people that might not be put in matches as much and the starters kind of improving.
Yep. It's like any game that you play. The more that you play it, the better you get. But then it's always a matter of, what your opposition is that you're playing against. So if you're scrimming against brand new teams and you're a master team, you're really not getting any kind of strats or anything out of that. You need to be scrimming against teams that are on the same experience level as you are, and that really brings your playing base up to their level, and getting your guys out playing is the only way that they're going to learn how to play against these high level teams.
They do decide to bring in Apollo Graham, as I do know they were available earlier. I do like that substitution, as Apollo is pretty good at those short range maps.
So now tell me a little bit about Apollo. Is he a newer member to Pantheon, or has he been with them for a while?
Apollo Graham is the original founder of Pantheon. Originally, he made it in the off season of Season 10 going into Season 11.
Interesting.
So he was the one that founded Pantheon and then eventually brought Freck onto the team. Sometime at the end of Season 11, Pantheon did make a decision to upgrade Freck as captain, where Apollo just kind of became a member of the team, as Freck was co-captain at the time and was making a lot of the plans and strategy. So it just made sense to upgrade Freck to that captain role. So
well, here
Apollo
we go.
is the original member of Pantheon.
Round one, let's see what happens here. We've got Pantheon on the backside of the spawn house. They are very excited about where this has been going so far. They're ready to get into some battles down here on Suburbia, my guys. And we've got Animal House over in the north side. Let's see how their spirits are doing right now. A little quieter over here, but we did get in a little late on their push. We got Lipinski and Flocker pushing out on lane 4 over by the bus. And lots of gunfire coming out from Lipinski from his LMG, trying to make a duel, taking out Green Theft Auto. Lipinski's fire, it does pick up Absent-Minded Prof over on lane 3. Quokka takes Jewel down, and all of a sudden we're a 3-on-4, only losing 1 on Animal House. And things are starting to slow down just a little bit as they cut the map in half and take control of half of the map. Apollogram does take down Quokka down there on lane 2. Smoke over here on lane 4.
Mobstar push it up on Freck. They will come in contact. Freck gets a kill on the Mobstar. Lipinski gets kill on the Jester too. Freck gets another kill on the Nolamite. That's 2 kills for him within the last 10 seconds. It is now another Lipinski clutch opportunity again.
Like I said before, I think Lipinski likes to be last man standing. Or it just seems to fall that way. And unfortunately, they have ankles on him from center house windows right now. Oh my gosh, Lipinski gets that kill on Apollogram. Wow! Rotating off of that.
Based on the kill feed there, I'm not quite sure what happened. I think Lipinski only downed Apollo, but Apollo must have put down a Molotov cocktail somewhere, as it did say Apollo TK'd himself while already being dead. He must have been in the process of throwing it as Lipinski shot him, I think. That's probably why the kill count said Apollo killed himself.
It's team captain versus team captain, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be the victorious member of this team winner? Lipinski and Freak going head-to-head right now. Who's going to clutch this? Lipinski's going through some utility right down on lane 1 right now, with Freak holding down the middle of the map pretty much. Smoke coming out across lane 2.
Oh, it's a distraction as Lipinski decides not to go lane 2 and go the other way, possibly trying to get Freck to think that Lipinski's coming a different way, but all the smoke's coming out now. Probably pretty confusing for Freck. Maybe there's an illusion that there's multiple people still alive.
Oh, Freck must have heard the footsteps. And Lipinski did hear the footsteps as well. Lots of gunfire coming out. And it's a trade, and Animal House take the win! Wow.
How many times Lipinski clutched tonight?
That is
a lot of 1v2s.
That's at least the 3rd time Lipinski's clutched around tonight. At least a 3rd. And I might have miscounted. I mean, Jesus. Nice job, Lipinski, there.
That's crazy.
And as expected,
Very impressive plays.
Some craziness down in the suburbs of Suburbia. I liked Freak's last man standing spot. Basically, bang, slap, bang in the middle of the map, getting audio cues all around him. And he still had eyes kind of on the OBJ area from his spot. But if somebody had snuck in, if Freak had stayed there and Lipinski had snuck in down lane 1, I don't know if he would have been able to have seen that. Could have been tough. Round 2.
Very aggressive start from both teams as Pantheon had an aggressive defense, but Animal House coming with a little bit more conservative considering it is Suburbia, but it was still a fast push. I think a key push there was the Lipinski and Quokka push on lane 4, being able to pick off a lot of members early on with pre-fires and just being able to pick them off.
All the pre-fire coming in from Lipinski down lane 2. We've got 2 pushing down lane 1 right now. It looks like we've got Graham and Jewel down lane 1. Lipinski going absolutely crazy. Nolamite taking out Graham. Lipinski going to go head-to-head with Jewel. Jewel getting the kill on to Lipinski, and Green Theft going down also.
Absent gets the kill on Green Theft from Playground, but Quokka will be watching that angle on Absent to push out, trying to stop that aggression, but Absent decides to slow it down there, but Quokka could still get that angle off, as Quokka does, but Absent is only down, not double tapping his body as of now.
Oh, nice shots there from Freak onto Quokka, finishing him off.
Unfortunate, Quokka just confirmed Prof right before Freck killed them.
All of a sudden, we're a 3-on-1, guys. 3-on-1 with the OBJ wide open. Nolomite taking Jewel down. And Freak dangerously close to the objective. Nolomite crashing back to the objective from lane 2 right now. Freak behind a very... Oh, smoke down on the objective. I could see a cap coming in. No! Freak didn't call it in. And Jester kills the last man standing. But it does put a point on the board for our Pantheon, guys. That should have been a cap.
It should have been, and we've seen that happen with Pantheon before on Abandoned, on that apartment OBJ. I'm not sure if you remember, but it was a very close cap, but duel with that split-second decision that he had to make. But there, it was kind of the same thing. But to be fair, Nolomite, even though there was a lot of smokes, Nolomite could have pre-fired onto OBJ and could have got a kill off. So it still would have been a risky cap, but still a missed cap opportunity there for sure. Again,
like we've said many times tonight, easy to make these judgment calls from up in the sky like this from the captain's booth. But I even heard Freak say, "Oh no!" as that last man went down, because he knew that he had an opportunity to get that cap in just after throwing that smoke. But yeah, split-second decisions. They got the point. That's what matters.
Everything is good on the Pantheon side, though, is right after that happened. Jester and Freck were talking to each other. I think I heard some apologies go out, and everything is good on their side. Nothing will be thrown off here as we're going into round 3.
Okay, and we've got garage objective here on the south spawn building. Let's jump over and see what's going on with our aggressive Animal House push on their Marsoc round. They're pretty quiet over here. But they are having a little giggle, so they're all in good spirits, all in good spirits. Lots of pre-fire coming out from the likes of Lipinski. Same pre-fire push as he did last time. Absent-minded Prof. Downing absent-minded Prof. What happens? Jewel taking down Nolomite. And I'm not too sure what happened to absent-minded there. He killed himself somehow.
Must have tried to get a pre-fire and maybe put his gun a little bit too close to his head. I'm not quite sure. Jester getting killed. Duel right next to Lipinski, but Duel not even checking Grey Car. Critical mistake as Freck does kill Green Theft Auto. It is now a 2v3.5.
These suburbia rounds happen so fast. We're not even a minute into the round and we're down to a 2 versus 3.5. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Mobstar taking Freak down. We're following along with our man Lipinski right now because he's kind of been the top fragger these last few maps. Ooh, Jester does get absent up. That was just a down. That was very odd.
Shots going out from Lipinski. Nothing comes of it though, as Mobstar will be in lane 1, watching the Volk House angle, trying to see if anyone is in second story, but there isn't, as Jester will just be right behind the garage there. But Mobstar gets killed by Apollo in the middle house, watching that front angle. It is now another Lipinski clutch opportunity. It's a lot harder though, as it is a 1v3.
Footsteps lane 2.
And Lipinski just got called out.
My house.
Since when can I not get through this window?
On this middle house, second floor.
Yeah, I can't get through it either. It's weird.
Thought we could get through those windows. But okay, here we are, back on Lipinski, trying to clutch yet another round for Animal House. Everything's slowed right down. Lipinski is rocking an LMG, so he doesn't have to worry about reloads too awful much here, just pulling triggers and shooting people. And he's making a cross back over to lane 3 by the looks of things. Apollo getting some great call-outs from Center House. It looks like Lipinski is going through dead bodies for utilities, and there goes, is that a smoke or a frag? Frag! Nice frag placement onto the porch of lane 4 south. But there was nobody there. Absent-minded goes down to Lipinski. Great shooting.
Oh, Drake goes out for Lipinski and Jester.
That was a nice round. Nice round. Another bulk win. Wow, guys.
Lipinski. That is crazy. He keeps being the last man up. Even if he has a clutch every single round, we have seen him get close before, and obviously we've seen him clutch too. Maybe it's very hard to tell from a casting point of view because of how fast stuff happens. But if Animal House played a little bit slower and maybe worked Lipinski a little closer, I feel like there might be a little bit more opportunity for round wins here, as Lipinski has been the longest surviving member of the entire night so far.
I think we're seeing a pattern here, to be honest with you, Parker. Like, just like you're saying, we're seeing Lipinski, you know, prodding, but playing it very cautious. And I think if the rest of the team kind of followed suit, we'd see maybe a little bit of a longer round. Let's go find out what's going to happen next. Round 4.
Very fast action so far, and Pantheon does seem to have a little bit more faster pushes than Animal House on Suburbia so far. So I'm expecting a pretty aggressive push. At least 2 will be going lane 4, if not 3.
Lots of gunfire coming out early.
Free fires everywhere as Quokka peeks out, but Absent gets the angle on the Quokka on Burning House. Lipinski going near, trying to get the revive / refrag. Green Theft kills Duel on the other side of the map. DK goes out from Green Theft on the Nolamite though. Unfortunate.
The 2.5 just in seconds of the round starting, and I missed a lot of that action. Wow, that was fast. Say Absent got the LMG, went from the 12-time sniper rifle to the LMG, now is pushing lane 4 over by the bus. Nice utility toss. Freak taking out Quokka right there. And Lipinski going down to a beautiful grenade from Absent.
Amazing frag, knew exactly where Lipinski was. Kind of saved Freck there, as Lipinski was close getting their line of sight onto Freck. Mobstar, last member up, trying to shoot at the other side. Huge push here, but Mobstar is expecting it. Will probably catch Freck out here as Freck slowly pushes.
Nope, Freck gets the kill. And he's pretty happy with that. Another point on the board for Pantheon boys.
Wow, this is a crazy performance from Pantheon so far. Those other 2 maps are super close, but on Animal House's arguably best map, it's so far a domination. That being said, these rounds are close. I don't think the score necessarily accurately represents exactly what's going on here on Suburbia.
I would totally agree. The one thing about the score on the board is it doesn't show you the what happened on the rounds. And we've had a lot of 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, 2-on-2s, all the way down to the last man standing on a lot of these rounds. So even though we're a 1-3 right now, each round's been pretty close, to be honest with you. It's been kind of crazy. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a prediction up for this map because it's been so darn quick, so I apologize, chat. But you did get prediction payouts on map 1 and 2, so congratulations on the people that decided that Pantheon was going to be the leader of the pack for our first 2 maps in Bazaar and Abandoned. Well done on that, guys, but I don't think we're going to be able to get, with round 3 already on the board, I don't think we're going to be able to get a prediction up quite yet, so I apologize. Okay. Save the channel points for the next one. We are in...
would be
Sorry, go on, Park.
All good. I would be interested to see the percentages on those predictions, because if we look at the connoisseur votes, Animal House was heavily favored to win this match of 23 votes to 6 votes.
Yeah, there are going to be some upset connoisseurs out on the fields today. Here we go, round 5.
Huge upset here.
Round 5. We were talking again before the cast went out. We've only got 1 more week of Onward regular season ahead of us, guys. Lipinski taking out Jester on a beautiful pre-fire with Quokka pushing lane 1, Green Theft pushing lane 2, moving over to lane 1 after throwing some utility down. And did Lipinski get another?
He did on absent-minded drop, another pre-fire. Whoa, big toss from Freck, getting Quokka as well, right next to Green Theft Auto, but Green Theft Auto gets a refrag on the Freck. A lot of action here very quickly, as it is now a 2v2.5. Apollo getting Green Theft from lane 2. It is now 1 up. Duel might get that confirmed on a Nolabite. Like usual, Lipinski is the last one up, who did get that pre-fire onto two of Pantheon's members earlier, still trying to take that position to see if anybody goes for the confirm on Nolamite. If so, that is a free kill for Lipinski.
Yeah, the Nolamite right now could really bait these people in here, but he could get confirmed from one of these windows. So if he can bait somebody in, Lipinski should be able to just tap him from that window without any problems at all. The one downside from Lipinski's spot right now is he does leave the objective area wide open.
I mean, I think it's more of the downfall of Pantheon, as they are very pushed out of OBJ.
Question right now: should we not be in spawn house objective? I'm seeing objective right now on Humvee.
It makes sense. It's been an even amount of rounds. We look at the score; it's 3-1. I think those rounds went so quick. We barely even processed that the objective changed. And with the pushed out Pantheon positions, it is very easy to assume that they were Marsoc, but in fact, they are defending Humvee. So,
okay. I got so confused with everything happening so damn fast.
It's too quick. It's too quick. It's way too quick to keep up with. I understand.
Oh my
Especially
word.
with how Pantheon has played this. It really... Pantheon made it look like it was Volkhaus, OBJ, and Lipinski helped with that too.
Exactly.
But
I think that's what threw me off. And again, Lipinski clutch round.
He gets us revive. This could be a huge clutch here, but Duels probably might know that Nolamite is there and might be trying to do the opposite that Lipinski was trying to do, where Duels trying to bait Lipinski to go for this revive.
You could be right here. Oh, Lipinski does miss those shots and that quick peek from Jewel. Jewel now knowing where Lipinski is. Tries to quickly hit that corner again, but he's going to come around the other side and probably catch Lipinski in the side, putting the final round on the board and the final nail in the coffin for Animal House. Nice job, Pantheon. All three maps.
That is a huge upset for the connoisseurs.
Massive.
Even though the first... Usually you don't see upsets like that in the master ranks, but that being said, if you are a master, you could potentially be any other master team pretty easily.
Yeah, that was tough. I really thought that last round was going to be an Animal House round, but with everything going on so fast, people dying so quickly, Pantheon took full advantage of that and took control of Suburbia. Taking a quick recap of what we saw tonight, we saw Bazaar, which was Animal House's map pick, and we were really close, 3-4 in favor of Pantheon down at Bazaar. And then we went to Abandoned, wide open map, and we went to a 3-4 in Abandoned, but that was basically the series win for Pantheon right there. But we did go down to map 3, which was Suburbia, which was Animal House's pick, and we thought really Animal House was going to dominate on the Suburbia with all their tactics and strats they've got under their belts from seasons they've been playing this, but they did lose out 1-4. But we were down to a lot of one-on-ones on that. What's that? 12-7? 12-7 final score in favour of Pantheon, securing their place in the semis final. Final thoughts, do you think, there before we take a quick look at the highlights here, Park?
I mean, that was a very good performance from Pantheon. Even in those close rounds and close maps, we did see Pantheon stick to the strats and be very solid. Animal House was very solid too, but I do think, especially in Suburbia, there might have been some coordination issues near the end, but basically very well played from both teams there, as Pantheon does secure that close qualifier spot, most likely, unless some really weird stuff happens. I don't really imagine that Pantheon won't make the top 7 after that performance, especially after Suburbia, where the points were very spread out, where before, I don't think Pantheon would gain too much MMR from just getting 4 threes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like I said, I think they've secured their spot. Animal House, I don't think you have to worry about losing their spot. I think, were they tiered 4th or 5th? I can't remember. So I don't think they have to worry about it. It just brings Pantheon into the fold, so to speak. But let's take a quick look at those highlight reels, and we're going to let you guys watch that, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, they definitely won't with that TK. There was no way they could have saw that, but Nolamite is looking right at Jeremiah, but doesn't see him, but his laser keeps kind of going right on him. gets the kill on the Jeremiah, eventually finds him. Jewel is the last with that smoke out. As Wicked does kind of push out there, and Lipinski too. Nade almost hitting Wicked if it was a little bit more to the right. Freck doesn't get the kill.
Freck on the corner of the OBJ building, not seeing Lipinski in the smoke. Freck Tabler out in the smoke right now. If this smoke clears, he's going to be in no enough. What a cap! Holy mother of God, that was fast. Nice job.
This is a very unique push from Animal House. I've never seen any team do this before with so many people on the north side of the OBJ as Freck
Side on the far west of the objective courtyard. Can he sneak in here? And without Lipinski seeing him, he's behind this wood. This wood is only visual. Oh, nice shots from Jeremiah on a
could give Lipinski an opportunity to shoot him on that staircase through the window on the back side.
Yeah, his lasers are just trained, and there it is. Nice shot from Lipinski. Well done. Excellent. Behind the wall now, so he doesn't have to worry about Jester, but it looks like we're going to get a crash to his area right now by Jewel, and goes down. Pantheon take another round, guys.
Forced to rotate back. Very close to them having 2 kills. So far, still a successful position with 1 kill on there. Oh, Green Theft Auto looking at the angle for Jester. Barely missing the shots onto his Jester, avoids it. Mobstar getting the kill onto Freck.
With you. He's probably trying to figure out, here's Lipinski making a push up here, and I don't think he knows Jules here either. However, Jewel hears the footsteps and takes Lipinski down on that flank. Nice job, Jewel.
Another utility goes out. Maybe that got him, but probably unlikely here.
Oh, and shots coming down from Absent in here as well. Green Theft and Freak trading out. Excellent.
Help.
Quoker's laser is just trained on this corner where Jeremiah is right now. Does look away for a split second. Jeremiah does turn around. Nice shots there from Quoker on to Jeremiah.
They put Prof up there, and it has paid off for Pantheon so far, but it is still very close with a 3v3 here.
It looks like Jewel is going to crash.
Gets flash from Quoker, but Prof gets his shots off, but Jester does move a little bit back.
Well, almost backs right into Nelomite's line here. There it is.
Does.
From here. Nobody lands any shots, but Nolomite now is pulled out. Oh, Jewel does get the shots in the Nolomite. Great angles on the objective. They can pretty much just cut off this entire angle that Pincey's trying to push. Pincey does take shots. Absent-minded Prof does take him down. One more to go. And he gets in, clutches around. My God, Lipinski, you legend! Interesting right here, because Jewel needs to get access to the building, and Jeremiah and Nolomite are right on top of each other. Shots coming in for Jeremiah, takes down Nolomite, so that is clear. Story. Because he hasn't even looked up to these windows once yet.
Maybe the strategy of being secret did pay off from Jester as he gets a kill on the Green Theft, but instant
Playoffs. If Animal House can take this, we're going to a map 3 decider. Ooh, shots coming out early.
I got North Spawn, one at Pipes.
woke up might be able to catch out Prof, and they do, as Prof...
They're on the other side of this rock from each other. And who's going to get the kill, or will it be a trade? Let's find out. It's about to happen any second now. Nice! Rounding the corner of Nolomite, killing Jeremiah. And now he's crashing back to the objective.
He's not able to see the push out. Oh wow, it is a cap opportunity as Jester's going for the cap right now, but besides they hear the footsteps.
Gets the
Doesn't go for cap
kill!
opportunity, Gets the clutch!
Nice job there,
4-3.
Pantheon. Well done. They're on lane 2. Smoke over here on lane 4.
Mobstar pushing up on Freck. They will come in contact. Freck gets the kill on the Mobstar. Lipinski gets kill on the Jester too. Freck gets another kill.
It just seems to fall that way. And unfortunately, they have angles on him from center house windows right now. Oh my gosh, Lipinski gets that kill on a hologram. Wow. We've got 2 pushing down lane 1 right now. It looks like we've got Graham and Jewel down lane 1. Lipinski going absolutely crazy. Nolomite taking out Graham. Lipinski gonna go head to head with Jewel. Jewel getting the kill on to Lipinski, and Green Theft
Still get that angle off, as Quokka does, but Absent is only down, not double tapping his body as of now.
Oh, nice shots there from Freak on the Quoker, finishing him off. Not too sure what happened to Absent Minded, but he killed himself somehow.
Must have tried to get a pre-fire and maybe put his gun a little bit too close to his head. I'm not quite sure. Jester getting a kill. Duel right next to Lipinski, but Duel not even checking. Great car. Critical
Frag placement onto the porch of lane 4 south. But there was nobody there. Absent-minded goes down to Lipinski. Great shoot. Went from the 12-time sniper rifle to the LMG now. It's pushing lane 4 over by the bus. Nice utility toss. Freak taking out Quoker right there. And Lipinski going down to a beautiful grenade from Absent. Did Lipinski get another?
He did on Absent-minded drop. Another pre-fire. Whoa, big toss from Freck. Getting Quokka as well. Right next to Green Theft Auto, but Green Theft Auto gets a refrag on. Yeah, they definitely won't with that TK. There's no way that you saw that, but Nolamite is looking right at Jeremiah.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that right there was the highlight reel. Wow, I didn't know I clipped that many clippity clips for that. I'm not too sure if Park is still even with me. You still here, Park?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Wow, that was a lot of clips for the highlight reel. We got some real good stuff there, so I'm looking forward to posting that in the Discord for you all to take that later on. That was probably one of the nail-biting final round, final matches. I'm lost for words. That I've cast in a little while. Yeah, crazy. It was crazy. I'm so glad you got to come along with me, Park. That was nice. Any final words before we sign off for these fine people in chat tonight?
Very well done from Pantheon, being able to hopefully secure that spot into the top 7 in NA. Animal House should be fine, but I mean, Animal House had a great performance, and especially Lipinski was a standout player tonight with being last alive a lot and getting a lot of clutches. Very impressive from both sides.
Yeah, without a doubt, Lipinski was MVP for Animal House there, coming in very closely from Frake. Two team captains really standing up and showing them how to do it right there tonight. That was fun. Glad we got to cast this for you guys tonight. Thank you so much, everybody hanging out with you. Hopefully you enjoyed the cast. My name's IdentityCrisisVR, who's your caster for this evening and cameraman. And Park is new to the team. He's not new to casting. He's been around doing some community stuff for quite some time. And he's fitting in absolutely marvelously with the team right now, and I'm glad to have him on board with this tonight. So I'm signing off right now. Any final words there, or are we going to get a goodbye from you right now, Park?